Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football mock draft. Today we are doing an 18 PPR from the fifth pick, as requested by two people actually that are my subscribers, Chris Turner and Ryan Hurst. I believe I may have pronounced your name wrong. I'm very sorry, but that's okay. I hope you forgive me. So, like I said, it's an 18 PPR draft from the fifth slot. But before I start this mock, I'd like to ask if you guys could please go down below and click that subscribe button. When you click that subscribe button, it's pretty much going to guarantee that you win your championship because I'm going to help you throughout the draft, throughout the regular season, by making correct sit starts decisions, correct matchups, correct waiver wire, correct trades, all of that jazz. So let's get right into the video. So the first pick of the draft is Alvin Camaro, followed by Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, David Johnson, and now it is our pick. So the running back, best running back available in my opinion is Zeke. But right now, as I'm recording this on 8/11 in the middle of the night, it's 3 in the morning. So Zeke still has not signed that contract. We still don't know what's happening with Zeke. So we're just going to simply avoid him and go with a wide receiver and go with the best wide receiver available. And either it's going to be DeAndre Hopkins or Devontae Adams. It's your call here. You could go Devontae Adams, who I personally think will be better. The only reason why I think he'll be better is because Aaron Rodgers seemed to really like him last year, and now he's saying he likes him even more, and he wants to target him even more. So he could even do better than last year, and he seemed very consistent last year. He had games, every single game he was just dominating for you, and he really didn't have any down games. So that's why I like Devontae Adams here. DeAndre Hopkins is a great pick too. You can go either or, in my opinion. I prefer Adams though. After we went Adams, Zeke went, followed by DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, Le'Veon Bell, and James Conner. So now it is our pick. And at the running back position, Gurley, Cook, Mixon, Chubb, all available. At the receiver position, Odell, Tyreek, Juju, Smith, Schuster. So typically in the first 2 rounds, I'd like to get at least one running back, unless I'm going double wide receiver, but I don't see a need to really do that here. I'd much rather just get an RB1 that I really like. So we're going to go with Joe Mixon here. Now, a lot of people don't really like Joe Mixon now. I like him a lot more than Todd Gurley because Todd Gurley has that knee problem, that knee arthritis, so you can't really trust upon him every single week to be healthy. So for that reason, I don't really like him. Dalvin Cook, also injuries. He was injured, tore the ACL 2 years ago. Now 2 years off the ACL, he should be able to be fine, but last year wasn't able to stay too healthy, so he kind of worries me injury risk wise. Joe Mixon hasn't really been injured in his, I believe, 3 year career. 2 years. This will be his third year. Didn't seem to get injured at all. I don't think he missed any games. Yeah, no, he probably did miss a game or two last year, I believe, and Gio Bernard played. But even with that, that's a lot more reliable in my opinion than a guy like Dalvin Cook. And I think that Joe Mixon should easily have a top 10 year at the running back position. I feel like he's a great pick here with the new coach and a lot smarter of a coach. Marvin Lewis is a terrible coach. Everyone knows that. He was one of the worst coaches in the NFL. He was a first class idiot, just like Hugh Jackson in that same division. They're both gone, and I think that Joe Mixon will be great here. After we went with Joe Mixon, Odell Beckham came off the board, followed by Tyreek Karate Kick Hill. He's not really the Karate Kick. That's his buddy Kareem Hunt. Tyreek's more of a boxer, you know what I'm saying? Hit you with the left, hit you with the right, you know what I'm saying? So after Tyreek went, Dalvin Cook went, followed by Juju Smith-Schuster, Todd Gurley, Nick Chubb, Travis Kelce, and Antonio Brown. So typically right here, the big three tight ends. Now since this is a 8-team league, I think potentially a guy like, a guy like Ertz at Kittle may fall to the fifth, but typically may be gone by the fourth. Travis Kelce falling all the way to the third is tremendous value. In these type of leagues, where it's an 8-team league, in my opinion, getting a great tight end is so advantageous because you have the advantage at the tight end position above everyone. Everyone's running backs or wide receivers are going to be stacked. Everyone's going to have a good quarterback. But the tight end position is where it really varies. Having a guy like Travis Kelce or Kittle or Ertz is really going to elevate you here whenever a lot of the wide receivers and running backs are the same. But the tight end position is so different. At the top, it's very top heavy. Kelce going to score so many more points, probably score 5 more points every single game than a guy like Ertz or Kittle. And then once you get off of Ertz and Kittle, and then there's the middle guys like, Hunter Henry, guy like O.J. Howard, Hunter Henry, Evan Ingram. And then there's a huge fall off. And then there's like a lot of guesses. It's like a guessing game. Do you want T.J. Hawkinson? Do you want Austin Hooper? Do you want Delaney Walker? I like Mark Andrews a lot, but The other guys, in my opinion, it's much more of a guessing game. So, with that being said, we'll just wait till the next round. Next round. What the fuck? I'm Elmer Fudge again. We are going to wait till the next round and hope that a running back, or I mean a tight end falls to us. So we're just going to go running back here. Secure our top 2 running backs. So, now you guys are going to see this video tomorrow, and it is about my at-home fantasy league. And in my at-home fantasy league, I took Kerryon Johnson in the first round. So that's a kind of a spoiler, but I tweeted it also. So just so you know, Kerryon, I really like him. And falling to the third round here, a guy who now some people have worries about him, kind of injury prone. All right, that's definitely a red flag. On a team that's not that good, kind of a red flag. But Matt Patricia said he's going to run with the hot hand, and in my opinion, Kerryon Johnson's going to be that hot hand for the team, play a lot of snaps, be really good, and that's why I like him there. So after we went Kerryon, Mike Evans went followed by Keenan Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Damian Williams, Melvin Gordon, Amari Cooper. So the first quarterback off the board was Pat Mahomes. Pretty typical to go in about the third or fourth round. Now in your at-home league, he may go in the first or second. Sometimes people learn and they decide to wait longer, but in the first or second is where he may go. The third or fourth is normally the average. And then, like, the fifth or sixth is where you're with a bunch of smart people who just avoid quarterback. So, like I said, we are going to go with the tight end here because I think that having that tight end position locked up with a guy who I think will be great will be so much better than one of these middle guys. So, we're going to go with Kittle here. In my opinion, Kittle's better than Ertz. It's a bit of a conversation. Do you want Ertz, who's done it for years? Do you believe that's a little bit safer? Or would you rather go with a guy like Kittle, who boomed last year? Came from a pick where you didn't even know how good he would be to one of the best tight ends in the game. The best receiving tight end in the game, I believe, was scoring so many points in fantasy. And I think that he can repeat that last year. Now, you could see last year, there'd definitely be some regression. But he was able to do so great with Nick Mullins. And now he has Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G-Spot, Jimmy Handsome, the great. And I think that George Kittle should be getting a lot better passes thrown his way, which means that he's obviously going to catch more passes. He's going to have an offense that runs better because they don't have just Nick Mullins. And I think that Kittle will be scoring a lot of touchdowns. He'll be catching a bunch of passes. He'll probably be the number 1 target on the team and number 2 behind Pettis, so I like Kittle here. Zach Ertz you could also go with, but I don't know. Dallas Goedert kind of scares me with him getting a lot more snaps. Now, we know Ertz is the guy, and he didn't deal with injuries last year, but he does have an injury past. He has dealt with injuries in years prior. So after we went Kittle, Zach Ertz went followed by Leonard Fournette, Adam Thielen, Josh Jacobs, T.Y. Hilton, David Montgomery, Marlon Mack, Aaron Jones. So at the running back position, there's no one I really want here in the 5th round. I'm not really trying to reach on Devontae Freeman here, so I'd much rather just go with a wide out. So my favorite wideout here would be Diggs. I like Diggs a lot. I think that going with him or his teammate Adam Thielen could be very good. I think the team is going to be personally better this year. I think Kirk getting another year under his belt is going to really add to the value or how much better he plays in the offense. And Diggs was really, really, really getting a lot more targets towards the end of the season, and Thielen was getting lessened. Does that mean that will happen this year? Maybe. But either of these guys are going to be pretty solid on Minnesota. And if somehow Dalvin Cook can stay healthy, that offense could be definitely really good this season. So I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs. After one Stephon Diggs, Derrick Henry went followed by Devontae Freeman, Julian Edelman, Chris Godwin, James White, Philip Lindsay. So now, at the running back position, there's still some names we like, but I think we have to go with a running back here because I know that I like receivers later, but I won't necessarily love the running backs later. So we're going to go with the best running back available, and in my opinion, that his name is Mr. Chris Carson. Chris Carson is the running back for the Seattle Seahawks. As you know, most likely, Chris Carson played pretty good last year. He was a late round draft pick who played great in fantasy. And the reason why he plays so good is because the Seattle Seahawks love running the ball. Unless they're in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, they love running the ball. They're going to run the ball so much that is crazy. There you have Chris Carson, who likely will see 15 touches a game. And they have Penny, who's going to see like 9 touches a game. They run the ball a lot. They like to run in the red zone. Russell Wilson's a great quarterback and all, but I think that they love to run the ball so much that I don't know why you wouldn't just want a piece of such a run-heavy offense, one of the most run-heavy offenses in the league. So for that reason, that's why I'm going to go Chris Carson. Now, Chris Carson does have some injury risk in years prior, so that is kind of something to worry about. But some people also worry about Penny stealing his job. I don't necessarily know if that'll happen, so I do like targeting Carson or Penny in every single draft. So you can get either of those guys, you're going to be pretty happy. So after we went Chris Carson, Mark Ingram went followed by Kenny Galladay, AJ Green, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Calvin Ridley, Aaron Rodgers, and Andrew Luck. So sorry my cursor's fucking huge right now. I really don't know why this has been happening, but it's okay because it has nothing to do with the settings. It's just in the recording because my mouse looks normal. But while you're looking at this mouse, go down below and click that like button also. And so like I said, now 3 quarterbacks are gone, 3 tight ends, and we don't look for tight end, or we don't really look for a quarterback this early. So we're just gonna get another wide receiver, I believe, or we could go running back here. I think we may just end up going. Let's see. The quarterbacks still available are pretty good in the 7th round here. Now, what I believe is a guy like Rodgers, Luck, and Mahomes. Mahomes going to go the earliest, but a guy like Rodgers, Luck, Watson, Baker may not actually be here in the 7th round. But if I'm here in the 7th round, I think I would just pull the trigger and go with the Shawn Watson here. Having known I would have gotten Watson here. Sorry if my voice just sounded really weird there. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but having known I would have gotten Watson here, I likely would have went with D-Hop in the 1st round, DeAndre Hopkins instead of Adams, because I would have had that connection. I don't love doing this every single draft, but I like pairing 2 guys. You get the combination. You can get a guy like Deshaun Watson, Devontae Adams, or Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins. You get Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. You can get Breeze, Michael Thomas, Matt Ryan, Julio, Baker Mayfield, Odell, Pat Mahomes, Tyreek. Now that's a stack that's really good, but way harder to get because that's in your first 4-round picks. Likely you're gonna have to spend on 2 of those guys. So, with that being said, we're going to go with Deshaun Watson here. I think he's the best quarterback available. I like Baker. I like Matt Ryan. I like Drew Brees. But I think Deshaun Watson has the most upside. He has those legs. He runs the ball a lot. And those yards, when you run, give you more points because you only need 10 rushing yards to score 1 fantasy point. Whereas you need 25 passing yards to score 1 fantasy point, so it's better for them to run. And Deshaun Watson's not just like Lamar Jackson. He can heave the ball. He can throw the ball out there. D-Hop will go get it. Will Fuller will go get it. Kiki Cootie's health, very confusing. I thought his leg was fucked. Apparently, he may be fine. But I just avoided him because I thought his leg was absolutely in shambles. But I think Deshaun Watson's going to be pretty solid this year. And he didn't get hurt last year. He was hurt the year before. And I think Deshaun Watson should be fine this year. After we went to Shawn Watson, Tariq Cohen went followed by Jarvis Landry, Cooper Kupp, OJ Howard, Sony Michel, Tyler Lockett. So now is our pick. And we are just going to build some running back depth. Now, this is a pick that, in my opinion, is semi-risque. A bit of risque action here. And that is with Kenyon Drake. Now, some people will just strictly avoid him. I can understand. Strictly avoiding Kenyon Drake. But the reports were coming out, it was that it was going to be his backup, Kalen Balazs. And then the coach, Mr. Flores, came out and was like, yeah, I kind of like playing tricks. Sometimes I'll put the worst guy in getting the first team reps. So, what do we know? It's kind of confusing. But when he's my 4th running back on the team, and he's a guy that's a potential RB1 in the 8th round on a team that isn't that great, but could be scoring a bunch when they're behind. And I think that Kenyon Drake can catch passes, so that's obviously going to add to his worth. Obviously, because it's PPR, so if he gets 5 targets, comes out with 3 balls, that's an extra 3 points. He has touchdown, he can score touchdowns, he can run the ball, and I just think he's more safe than a guy like Lamar Miller or Tevin Coleman. I just won't draft. I don't like going to 49ers running backs until later, like Breida. Lamar Miller, I'm not really attached to anymore because he used to be the safety net, but now he's much more of a... I'm more confused. It may be 50-50 with Duke Johnson. I really don't know. 60-40? But what is Lamar Miller really going to do with 60% of the touches? Not fucking much, I'll tell you that much. So we'll just go with Mr. KD here. After we went Kenyon Drake, DJ Moore's picked, followed by Hunter Henry, Alshon Jeffrey, Lamar Miller, Baker Mayfield, Robbie Anderson, and Mike Williams. So we're just going to get another wideout here. Now, when you're watching this yesterday, Dante Pettis didn't play too well. Dante Pettis wasn't really involved in the passing game of the 49ers during the preseason game. What does that really mean? I don't think it means panic yet. in my opinion. I don't see a true panic. Now, I would kind of pass in him in situations where I think the receivers behind him are better. But in this situation, I think Dante Pettis is so much better than a guy like Robinson or Christian Kirk or Will Fuller that I feel like it's worth picking him here. Now, we're going to have two San Francisco players. Not on the best offense. Obviously, not necessarily the best thing to do. But he's our third wide receiver. He's barely going to see playing time on our team. Maybe flex at times, but he's pretty much only going to be out in there when Adams or Diggs are out. So we're just going to go with Pettis here. He has a lot of high upside. He should be the number one target on San Francisco besides Kittle. He's the best wide receiver on that team, in my opinion. Debo Samuel. All these other guys are catching passes. Marquise Goodwin. Who knows what's going to happen, but I still think Pettis is a good enough receiver that the cream will rise to the top. Not the fucking crop, you idiot. The top, and I think that Dante Pettis will be the guy. So after we went Pettis, Allen Robinson went, followed by Tevin Coleman, Austin Eckler, Rashad Penny, Christian Kirk, Darius Guice, or Darius Geis, as they really say. But some people call him Darius Guice, I noticed, which is pretty fucking funny. So on this channel, we always wait for defense all the way until the last round. Now, I do know that this is only a 5 bench spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, maybe I could just pause it and add another bench. Let's see if that works. I'm sorry, I didn't mean, I thought that we had 6 bench spots. Okay, we can just add one more. Boop. Okay, now we have 6 bench spots, so we're good. Or 5 bench spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, because the website's fucked. 6 bench spots, so now we're good. So, we're going to add more running back depth, because like I said, always say in every video, running backs win championships. The running backs deplete early, the wide receivers are great late. That's always how it is. So we're going to go with a running back here. I'm going to go with, in my opinion, the soon-to-be RB1 of the Philadelphia Eagles. Reports out of camp, maybe we can read it here. Miles Sanders making, oh, he didn't make any impact in his debut. Only carried the ball 3 times for 3 yards, whatever. His leg up on the starting gig. He's been getting a lot of talk up now. I think Jordan Howard could be useful the first couple of games. That's why I would draft him. Maybe for the first 5 games, use Jordan Howard. But soon enough into the season, Miles Sanders is going to become the locked and loaded running back 1 for the Philadelphia Eagles, like he was drafted for. And listen, you're drafting Miles Sanders because you think he'll be the running back 1. And you already have, if you have my team, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. He's your 5th running back. And you're just hoping that he becomes the 1. And I think he will be. Whereas guys below him, a guy like Latavius Murray, really has no chance of becoming the running back 1 on the team. Darrell Henderson, unless Todd Gurley is absolutely fucked, like he may be, that's the only time Darrell Henderson can really become the RB1. Jordan Howard could be the RB1 for a bit, but I think, like I said, Miles Sanders. Kareem Hunt's out for a bunch of weeks. Royce Freeman, you can make the case, could be the RB1, but I think Miles Sanders is the best case to be the RB1 on his team back here, and that's why we're picking him. So after we select Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard was selected, followed by Will Fuller, Latavius Murray, Evan Ingram, Matty Ice, Darrell Henderson, Larry Fitz, the old fuck, Geronimo Allison, and now it's our pick, so we're going to go with wide out here. And now this is a pick that I know some people are going to hate in the comments. I already know. I could just see the comments incoming. You know, some people are a bunch of haters, and that's fine. If you don't like my pick, go ahead and comment it. I'll read it, and I'll respond. You know, I give responses. Sometimes you guys make great points, you know. A lot of the times, actually. Not everyone here is an idiot. So, you guys shouldn't be, because if you're watching all my videos, you're gaining a lot of knowledge, and you're not going to be someone who does a lot of these bad decisions that I see in a lot of drafts. So, and if you want to be part of those kind of people who don't make bad decisions, click that subscribe button. So, we're going to go with a wide receiver. I'm going to go with the best one available, Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins, his ADP rose up like a motherfucker. It rose bright and early. It was early as fuck. It was like the 5th, 6th round. And then Tyreek made his emergence. After absolutely having a boxing match with his son, boom, 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 fucking Floyd Mayweather type deal, 1-2 Mayweather, and then he was fine. All right? Who knows if that actually happens? That's a joke. I don't know if that actually happened. Tyreek Hill may be a nice guy. Who knows? Great in football. But Sammy Watkins' ADP fell. And now Sammy Watkins, likely the wide receiver 2 on the team, the 3rd option on the team, a guy who absolutely did great in their 2 playoff games, getting over 100 yards in their last 2. And I think Sammy Watkins is going to build upon that, and I like Sammy Watkins here. He's definitely a value pick here this late in the draft. So after we went Sammy Watkins, Carson Wentz got the board, followed by the Chicago Bears defense. Kareem Karate Kick Hunt, Sterling Shepard, Eric Ebron, Jared Cook. So, like I said, we like getting this running back value. In an 8-team league, you don't draft 2 quarterbacks because there's going to be good quarterbacks on the waiver wire. We already got a tight end, so we don't need another one. We already got an elite one. We'll just have to drop someone for Kittle, or for Kittle's backup week 2 or week 4 to play in his bye. So we're just gonna build more running back depth. We got 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5 running backs, and you always want to finish your draft with more running backs than receivers because it's more likely you can easily find a wide receiver to pick up on the waiver wire that you could just play. Pretty easy in an 8-team league. But a running back that you could play on the waiver wire is still going to be very hard in an 8-team league. So we're going to go with Mr. Rolls-Royce Freeman. He's a guy who, in my opinion, could be the RB1 on Denver. Like I said before, it's going to be like a 50-50 touch between Philip Lindsay, who goes a lot earlier than Mr. Royce Freeman back here. Royce Freeman, the Rolls-Royce. And I think that he could really end up as the running back 1. He could really emerge. Lindsey got a lot of touches last year because he played great. Now Lindsey's coming off the injury. Is he 100%? He says he is. I don't know. A lot of guys tell me they're 100% and then they get fucking hurt again, you know? But Royce Freeman could potentially break out as that running back 1. He played great in the first preseason game. Maybe there's some information here. He broke loose, ripped a great run, could split carries with Lindsey, will split carries with Lindsey. So, I did not mean to do that. Oh my god, I just completely fucked everything up. Oh my god. Alright, we're just gonna remove all of the players here. Remove it all. Remove it all because we didn't mean to do that. That was embarrassing. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I've done this. Alright, it's all fixed now. It's all fixed. We're gonna go with Royce. So, after we went Royce, now obviously in a real draft, you can't go back. Ronald Jones is an okay pick there. So, after we went Royce, DD went, followed by Ronald Jones, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, DK Metcalf, LaShawn McCoy, Marvin Jones, Damian Harris, Drew Brees. So, we currently have a bunch of running backs. We'll get one more wide receiver here, and we'll go with my favorite late round wide receiver, Curtis Samuel. Now, Curtis Samuel could be better than DJ Moore. He's going so much later. Curtis Samuel did better than Mr. DJ Moore late last season, towards the back of the end of the season, and I think that Curtis Samuel could obviously be better than him. Like I said, Cam Newton's shoulder should be good, and if Cam Newton's good, Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore are going to be very good in fantasy. And I like Curtis Samuel this late for a guy who played better than DJ Moore at stretches, and I know is probably a pretty safe option here back here over a guy like Corey Davis, who's fucking terrible. Colton Sutton, you don't know you don't really know his worth on the team. You don't know if he's the wide receiver 1, 2, 3. You don't really know. N'Keal Harry's a rookie, kind of confusing. Kiki Cootie's injured. Emmanuel Sanders, you don't know the role. So that's why we're going to go with Curtis Samuel here. He seems like the best pick available. So after we went Curtis Samuel, David Njoku went, followed by Kyler Murray, Vance McDonald, LA Rams, Greg Zuerlein, Jacksonville Jaguars, and now it's our pick. So we're going to go defense. So the way we're going to go defense is you're going to go on Google, type in NFL schedule week 1, find a defense playing a shitty offense, and you pick that defense. So the Cowboys play the Giants week 1, and that's why we go with them. And they have an easy week 2 matchup as well. That escapes my brain. So after we went Dallas Cowboys, LA Chargers pick, followed by Minnesota Vikings, Baltimore Ravens, Denver Broncos, Justin Tucker, Harrison Butker, Will Lutz, Stefan Gostowski, and now we go kicker. Best kicker available, Kyle Fairbairn. Bada bing, bada boom, step inside the room. Jake Elliott, Russell Wilson, Robbie Gould. So our starting team, the starting lineup for our team, quarterback, Shawn Watson. 2 running backs, Joe Mixon, Kerryon Johnson. Our wideouts, Devontae Adams, Stefan Diggs. Our flex, George Kittle me Timbers. Our flex, Chris Carson. Our kicker, Kyle Fairbairn. Our defense, Dallas Cowboys. Our bench, Kenyon Drake, Dante Pettis, Miles Sanders, Sammy Watkins, Rolls-Royce Freeman, and Curtis Samuel. So thank you guys all for watching the video. If you did end up enjoying this video, please go down below, click that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you get notified for all the videos. I make 3 a day pretty much right now during draft season. So thank you guys all for watching. Like I said, I hope you have a great goddamn day. I hope you come back later for the second video of the day, which I have not recorded. So have a great goddamn day. I love you all. Goodbye, guys.